Hello, and welcome to today's subscriber contract. No struggles, set on the Isle of Scale and supplied to us today by Nicoindadrop. So moving on to our briefing. Dear Agent Anubis, we have tracked down some serious targets in the Isle of Scale. Eliminate these people in the correct eliminations and outfits. Don't get spotted. Good luck. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them along with a free map. So for today's challenge we'll be starting at the keep, and we'll be bringing with us a silenced shotgun in a briefcase, an agmetic gas grenade, and our Seeker 1. So right from the start and off the bat, strap yourselves in. This is going to be a long one as we have quite a lot to do. So first thing we're going to do is make our way down into the Constance Towers bathroom, and we're going to overflow the sink here and acquire ourselves a change of outfit. So I'm just going to stop the sink and get ourselves behind the door, and we are going to render the gentleman who comes in to investigate unconscious. We're going to take his outfit, and we are then going to proceed to render everybody else in the upper levels of the tower unconscious.
Hey, I'm sorry, mister.
So we're just going to drop our briefcase on the floor there to lure the other guard away from the wall, and when he gets away from the wall we can then render him unconscious with the bust from the desk. We're going to drag him into the bathroom and hide him away, and then we're going to set up a trap to lure in the guard from downstairs. So we're going to take the assault rifle here, place it on the floor at the top of the stairs. About there will do, anywhere around there will do. We're going to grab the 2 cannonballs here, and they will come in extremely useful throughout this mission. We're going to throw one of them halfway down the stairs and quickly retrieve it, and that will get the attention of the guard from downstairs, and when he comes up to investigate he won't find anything and he will lose interest, and when he does he will turn around to head back downstairs, and at that point we will then re-throw our cannonball at the top of the stairs. So about now will do nicely. Again, we're going to retrieve our cannonball and we're going to move away a safe distance, and when the guard comes up to investigate he will spot that gun and he will move in to take it away, and we can then render him unconscious. So there he is at the top of the stairs, and good night, sir. So with him now dealt with, we can retrieve our briefcase with our shotgun. We're going to grab the silenced SMG, that will come in handy, and our cannonball, and we're going to make our way halfway down the stairs just as the Constant arrives. So the Constant and the butler, whose outfit we require, will now engage in a conversation, and we're going to wait for that conversation to play out, and then we're going to head down into the stairwell down to the ground floor. So once the conversation plays out and we head into the stairwell, that will trick the Constant into thinking we have left the area, because in this particular mission wherever we go the Constant will follow. So if we hang around in this area the Constant will not leave. So we need to trick him into thinking we have left the area, and he will then go back to his usual routine. So he's about to go and sit down on the sofa. Now if we were still in the area he would now engage in a lengthy phone call while sitting on the sofa, but as we've tricked him into thinking we have left the area he will not engage in the phone call, and instead he will go back into the main building, and we want to give him plenty of time to crack on with his usual routine before we then make our way back up to the Constance Tower, or the office area, and we can now render the butler unconscious. So we're just going to make our way up to the front doors here, and when the butler Constantine makes his way across to the desk, we should have an opportunity for us to sneak in behind him, close the doors, render the butler unconscious with a cannonball. Make sure we retrieve our cannonball, and then we're going to take the butler and deposit him upstairs with the unconscious guards, and that's just because the Constant will return to this area shortly. So once we get him upstairs, we can now take his outfit, and we finally have the outfit we require. So before we leave, we're not going to forget to retrieve our shotgun in a briefcase. We're going to make our way out of the Constance Tower, across the glass bridge, and at the far end we're going to retrieve our shotgun and then throw ourselves over the balcony, and then we're going to climb up to the next floor. So from here on out we are trespassing. So we're going to use the SMG to take out the camera, and then we're going to continue on all the way up to the top floor. I'm going to select my cannonball nice and early, and then once we get up here we can see in the penthouse our target, who is on patrol. We're just going to wait for the guard on patrol on the balcony to move away, and then just like we did at the Constance Tower, we are going to render everybody in the area unconscious, and we're going to work our way down floor by floor. In total we will be rendering about 20 people unconscious, because we will be using outfits that are hostile. So once the guard moves away from the balcony's edge, we're going to render him unconscious with a cannonball. We're going to drag him around the corner here just so that he isn't spotted, and we can then retrieve our cannonball and the assault rifle that he drops. And when our target moves away after playing with his phone, he will head off towards the Iron Maiden. We can then make our way into the area, and we're going to deposit our assault rifle on the floor behind his colleague here. And when he comes back as part of his routine, he will spot the gun and he will go and take it away, and he will be gone for quite some time, enough time at least to let us deal with his colleague up on this floor and the guard on guard down on the stairs leading to the floor below. So here he comes now. He's found the gun, he's moving to take that away, and he's going to take that down quite a number of floors. I think he goes down about 3 or 4 floors, so he will be gone for some time, and that, like I said, gives us plenty of time to render his colleague unconscious. We're going to grab the key card that he drops and the SMG, not forgetting once again our cannonball there, as it will come in very handy still. We will be using that to knock out quite a number of people still. So by the time we get to our first contact, we should have across the tower and this building 7 unconscious guards and 1 unconscious butler. So we're just going to take our cannonball, throw it at the top of the stairs. That will get the attention of the guard on the stairs, and when he comes up to investigate, we can render him unconscious and we can take all of his stuff. So here he comes now, and we're just going to use our second cannonball on him. We're going to use our SMG to take out the camera on the stairs, and then we can collect up everything that the guard has dropped and deposit him out on the balcony with everybody else. And we are now all set up and ready for the return of our first target. So we're just going to make our way back inside. I'm also going to retrieve the other cannonball that we've been using so that we're back up to 2. And then we're going to hide ourselves behind the leather armchair here, and we're just going to hide here and await the return of our target. And when they finally come back up, they are going to lean against the other armchair, playing with their phone once again. And when they have finished with that, they will then move away to the Iron Maiden and the suits of armor, and we can then render him unconscious and deposit him over the balcony for our first elimination of the day. So off he goes now. We can then render him unconscious with one of our cannonballs, and we are going to collect up everything that he drops. Try not to snap his neck, something I done on one of my practice runs by mistake. And we can then deposit him over the edge of the balcony right outside the doors here, and he will land between 2 rooftops, and no one will be none the wiser. His body will not be found, no panic will ensue. So we're going to make our way around the corner and don one of the Archean guards or the elite guards outfits. We're going to make our way down to the floor below, where we will encounter another guard on guard duty. We're going to take one of our weapons and drop it on the floor, which will get his attention, and when he moves in to retrieve that gun, we're going to hide ourselves in the corner so we're not in front of the mirror when we render him unconscious. We're then going to hide his body on the stairs just around the corner. We're going to make sure we collect up everything as well. Now he drops a shotgun, I believe, or it might be his colleague who we're going for next will drop the shotgun. That may cause a problem. We will need to get it out of the way. So once we've got our friend safely stored up around the corner, we're going to turn on the gramophone and make our way across the hallway here. And this is the first gentleman of 4 people we are about to lure out into the corridor, and he is the one with the shotgun. So we're just going to wait for that door to close if at all possible, render the guard unconscious and leave the gramophone playing, and we're just going to rinse and repeat, hiding each of them up the stairs and letting the gramophone lure in the next one until we're left with just the one guard in the room, and we can then drop the shotgun that we've been hiding on the floor in front of him. And when he moves away from the wall to collect it, we can render him unconscious. We can collect up the gun that he drops and our cannonball once again. So now we can move on to the floor below, where our next target is located. But there are also 2 ARC members, or the council members, and 2 more bodyguards to deal with. So we're going to drop the shotgun we've been hiding on the floor in the corridor outside the room. We're going to throw one of the cannonballs or the bust, just anything we've got on us, into the corridor to get the attention of the first guard. We can then render him unconscious. We're going to collect up everything that he drops, and we're going to hide him just like we did earlier up the stairs around the corner here. Not too far, we don't want to go too far or too crazy. We're going to then make our way back down the stairs, and this time round, instead of having a gramophone to use, we've lost the shotgun. Oh, there it is. It's gone through the floor and someone's already removed it. So we'll use the SMG. We're going to go into the room, drop the SMG on the floor. There we go. Well done, 47. Took you 2 attempts, but we got there in the end. We're then going to throw something into the room to get the guard's attention, who is an enforcer. Now just as we threw that, he actually spotted the gun anyway, so we have attracted the attention of one of the council members. So we are going to have to wait for the young lady there to lose interest and go back to her position. In the meantime, the enforcer has removed the weapon. Now because we're down a bit lower in the building, he will not be gone for quite as long. So we're going to go behind the sofa and the paintings, throw the bust or one of our cannonballs on the floor. That will get the attention of the two council members. One of them will send the other off to investigate, and when they do, we will then render the remaining one unconscious, and we happen to suffer the punch glitch there, or near enough. But for some reason, we have managed to get away with this. So you don't want to stand too close to your targets, and you should be able to render them both unconscious with no trouble whatsoever. I did it on all of my practice runs, of which there were many, and I got away with it. It was only on this particular run that I stood too close to one of the Archean members there, and they got a little bit spooked. So all we're going to do now is await the return of the enforcer, and we're going to hide ourselves behind the door so that he doesn't spot us. And when he comes in, we can then render him unconscious. There we go. We're going to collect up everything that he drops, including our cannonball, and that just leaves the musician our target. Now he is a requirement for him will be the suit of armor. So we're going to make our way all the way back up to the penthouse, grab ourselves one of the suits of armor, and then make our way all the way back down, grabbing our silenced shotgun that we dropped on the way. So there is the shotgun, just about to fall through the floor, but we managed to catch it, and we can eliminate our second target. So we can dispose of the shotgun, we don't need that anymore. We're going to redon an Archean guard's outfit. We're going to head back up to the penthouse, and we're going to retrieve the broadsword, which is a requirement for our next elimination. And with the broadsword, we're going to make our way down to the Hyperborean room, which is where all of the Archean members are located, along with Sophia Washington. So it's a long way, lots of floors. We're going to make our way all the way down and right to the very back, where we will find the control laptop. We're just going to let that camera pan away, and then we're going to make our way into the storage room, dropping our broadsword along the way. We're going to turn on the Hoover here, or the vacuum cleaner, turn that off, exit the room, as this young lady could very well become an enforcer. So we're going to select our cannonball once again, and when the young lady goes in to investigate, we can render her unconscious. We're going to collect up our cannonball once again, as they have come in very handy. We're then going to destroy the camera out in the corridor, retrieve our broadsword, and if we use instinct, we will see that our target is in the room beyond, though he's a long way off. We're going to wait for him to go through his routine until he's much closer to us before we turn off the laptop here. That will get his attention, and then we're going to quickly turn it back on and move a safe distance. And when he comes along to investigate, we can launch the broadsword at the back of his head. So hold on to that for us, please, mate. We're then going to drop him into the crate provided, and then once again we are going to head all the way back upstairs to the penthouse, and we are going to retrieve the battle axe that is on the shield next to the one where we got the broadsword. There are two axes here, so we need to make sure we get the right one. We want the battle axe. There we go. And we're now going to head all the way down to the kitchens. So it's a long way. We've got quite the journey ahead of us, and we do have to avoid the patrolling arcing guards, one of which will be an enforcer, and usually is to most outfits.
You know what it's about.
Now, luckily enough, on this particular run, we don't actually run into them, so they must be off somewhere else as part of their patrol. We're going to make our way all the way down to and through the kitchens and out the other side, and we're going to drop down off of the ledge here. We're going to place our battle axe on the floor, and we'll come back for that later on. We're then going to select our Seeker 1, and we're going to make the young lady over by the boiler nice and sick. There we go. She's going to come over and throw up in the bin just behind us, and we can then render her unconscious, and she will no longer be in our way. So once she gets over here, you notice the bin opens up in anticipation that she's on her way, and we can then render her unconscious. We're going to deposit her in the crate provided, and we can then go on with our next two knockouts, and they are in the pantry area on the far side of the kitchen. So that would be everything set up for our final target, and now we're just going to do some setup for our penultimate target. So we're going to grab the commemorative coin, and we're going to throw that over into the corner, select our cannonball once again, and we are going to render both of these servers unconscious and deposit them both in the crate provided. So down you go, sir. Have a nice nap.
Oh, great.
And then quickly on to your colleague. We're going to deposit both of these two into the crate provided. We're going to collect up our cannonball and the commemorative coin. We're not quite done with that yet either. So once we've tidied everything up, we can collect up the coin if we haven't already. We're going to deposit the coin on the floor by the door leading to the kitchens. So we're just going to put the coin somewhere around here. About here will do nicely. And everything is now set up for our final two eliminations. We're going to make our way up to the funeral with our gas grenade in hand. And if we use instinct, we can see there is our target. So we're going to use the big rock here for cover, throw our gas grenade over the rock, and that will make our Archean member and his colleague both sick. And one of them, our target, will come this way. Now I'm hoping that he spots the coin, but because he's sick, he's going to ignore it, and he will continue on into the kitchen to purge himself. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. If we eliminate him when he comes down the stairs, we will attract the attention of a guard from downstairs, and there's nowhere left to hide any bodies. So we are going to have to let this guy go into the kitchen and purge himself. We are going to position ourselves just outside of the kitchen door here, and when the purging has completed, the target will come back this way. We can close the kitchen door behind him while he finds the coin. The coin is just there to slow him down, and we can then eliminate him with the SMG. We're going to take his outfit, and we now need to make our way through the kitchens. Now we will be trespassing, so there is an alternative, and we are going to go all the way down the long way and into the showroom and down into the sewers and then back up the other side. And this is the lesser of two evils, as we will be able to get to where we're going without running into any enforcers, everybody. So once we get to the ceremony room here, we're going to select our Seeker 1. We're going to plant ourselves into the corner behind the barrels here, and if you see on instinct, our target is one of the myriad of guards. so we need to be very careful about getting him sick. We want to get ourselves as deep into the corner behind the barrels here, pull out our Seeker 1, and as long as no one is spotting us at that particular moment, we can shoot him and make him sick. He will then make his way to the bin over here where we are waiting, and when he gets over here, we can then finally pick up the battle axe and we can introduce our final target to cold steel. There we go. Now this has taken quite the considerable amount of time, so we're going to deposit this gentleman in the crate provided, because we don't want to be heading towards the exit and have a body found after 30 minutes of running around. So we're going to head now for the nearest available safe exit, and to do so we are going to go back through the sewers, taking absolutely no risks whatsoever, and we're going to head back up all the way to the harbour exit. Now we could go through the gate, but we will be trespassing and there will be enforcers. So as I said, we're going to take absolutely no risks, and we're going to take the longest possible route, but also the safest, and make our way back down to the harbour and our awaiting speedboat. So there we go, one epic subscriber contract taken care of, and we get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives to worry about, and we get a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.